CIGTV News Update, I'm Donna Bush. Glad you could join us. Premier, the Honourable Alden McLaughlin recently returned to the island following some days of private discussions with the United Kingdom government on the topic of making available to the public registers of companies' beneficial ownership information. At the beginning of this month, the UK had taken significant steps towards requiring the overseas territories by law to institute such registers. On Wednesday afternoon, Premier, the Honourable Alden McLaughlin, had held a press conference to provide further details to the public.
I had met with the Prime Minister on Tuesday and among other things, put this particular option to her, and with David Lidington, the de facto Deputy Prime Minister, again encouraging them to, as the government, to support the proposed amendment. I also met on 2 occasions with Lord Ahmad. Again, I understand full well the political dynamic in the United Kingdom at present, and the government was fearful that it would simply lose the vote and did not want to risk another vote loss in the present very difficult situation they find themselves as they try to navigate the Brexit the Brexit issue. So we did see, though, the merit, and I think that has been borne out by the speeches that were made, of having the House of Lords debate this issue again, to place starkly in the frame the constitutional overreach, which we continue to argue is the case, and that we believe those speeches will aid not just in any legal challenge which we make if the UK proceeds to make the Order in Council, as they are now mandated to do, but also in our efforts to have the United Kingdom enter into a fresh set of constitutional discussions with a view to putting in place the necessary constitutional safeguards to avoid this type of constitutional overreach by Parliament in the future. I raised this issue with the Prime Minister and had considerable discussions with David Lidington about it, and the UK has agreed to begin this dialogue. I have this morning written to the Prime Minister asking her to have her officials engage with the Cayman Islands government officials in London to start this process. I will be back in London on the 11th of June to attend the pre-GMC meetings, and I hope to be able to take the matter substantially forward at that particular point. I have spoken to the Leader of the Opposition and a number of the other members of the Opposition about what we are proposing in that regard, and I have their support.
And you can watch the entire press briefing with Premier McLaughlin, as well as the CEO of Cayman Finance, Cabinet Secretary Mr. Samuel Rose, and Head of the Opposition, Mr. Ezard Miller, only here on CIGTV tonight at 8 o'clock, followed by For the Record. Well, on Tuesday, a press release announced that government and international biotechnology company Oxitec signed a new contract to assess the effectiveness and efficiency of including Oxitec's mosquitoes within MRCU's integrated mosquito management program to combat the dangerous disease-carrying mosquito Aedes aegypti. The new program will cover the southwestern area of West Bay, where government and Oxitec previously collaborated on the release of friendly and non-biting genetically modified male mosquitoes, and a second comparator area in southeast West Bay. It will also expand releases of those same mosquitoes into a neighboring but geographically distinct area to the northwest of the district. MRCU Director Mr. James McNally tells us more.
The next step will be to look at the 2 levels of release of these mosquitoes and determine whether in fact they fit within the program, whether they're affordable. We would determine a price, which would probably be different than any of the pricing and expense associated with this project now. And again, determine whether from a managerial perspective at that point, which would be justified by a scientific perspective, whether that tool fits in our toolkit. Well, the next step, if the tool doesn't fit, would simply be to end our contractual obligation, and there is an end point associated with the contract, so we would part ways.
And additional information about the program is available from mrcu.ky and oxitec.com. MRCU Assistant Director, Research and Development Officer, Mr. Alan Wheeler, comments that the new project will evaluate the Oxitec mosquito as part of an integrated control strategy alongside other control techniques, and this will allow us to, he says, thoroughly evaluate the technique before implementing plans to expand it to other areas of the island. Well, for a look at our weekly schedule of shows here on CIG Television, you can go online to gis.gov.ky and click on publications at the bottom of that first page. And if you missed today's news update, you can go online to Facebook at Cayman Islands Government, as well as our YouTube channel to see what's happening on CIGTV News. I'm Donna Bush with your CIGTV News update for this Wednesday. Thank you as always for joining us, and I hope and wish you a safe and a wonderful evening.